You're watching the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Coming up on today's show, a lot of interesting rumors to get into revolving around the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James wants Sam Presti to be the general manager of the Lakers and replace Rob Pelinka. Also, an Anthony Davis-DeMar DeRozan trade coming this offseason. Pretty fascinating when you think about it. DeMar DeRozan hails from the LA area. He's an MVP candidate with the Chicago Bulls. They're playing really good basketball. Why would they trade away DeMar DeRozan for the off-injured Anthony Davis? We'll explore all of that, but first, this is why you subscribe to the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. We're about 200 people away from 42,000 subscribers. The goal for us is to get there by the end of the week. So if you want to stay in the know with all things Lakers, the solution to that problem is easy. You just hit that red subscribe button down below or in a separate browser, let this video roll, and go to youtube.com/LakersTV. This season has been pretty incredible for the Los Angeles Lakers for all of the wrong reasons. And last night, just blasphemy. An awful and ugly loss to the New Orleans Pelicans by a final score of 123-95. CJ McCollum went off again for 22 points for New Orleans. Brandon Ingram chipped in for 19 points against his former team. Jonas Valanciunas dropped a double-double with 19 and 10. And LeBron James continued to do LeBron James things. 32 points, 6 boards, and 3 dimes. But everybody else on this roster, you can forget about it. They were bad with the exception of LeBron James. And DeAndre Jordan's pass really just summarized the entire Lakers season. He gets the ball, looking to push the rock up court, and just fires it into the stands. Like, if that doesn't just encapsulate the Lakers season this year, I don't know what does. Everybody was looking around like, yo, DJ, you're not supposed to be pushing the rock in transition. It was so bad in that defeat that Laker fans were booing LeBron James and the entire Lakers roster. Kendrick Perkins had said after the game, I don't think that Frank Vogel is going to survive this. It was so ugly, he might get canned. My goodness, it is so ugly for the Lakers, one of the best and most notable franchises in all of sports worldwide is having a disastrous season. And the face of the franchise, one of the best players in the NBA, LeBron James, is disgruntled. He's unhappy. And is he hinting at his desire for the Lakers to make changes? Now, you go back to what he said at the All-Star break, and we're going to really read into all of this and try to dissect it all. He said this: the MVP over there in Oklahoma City is Sam Presti. He the MVP. I mean, Josh Giddey is great, but Sam Presti, I don't understand this guy's eye for talent. He drafted KD, Russ, Jeff Green, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson, Josh Giddey, and the list goes on and on and on. This guy's pretty damn good. Oh yeah, LeBron. He also drafted James Harden to add to his resume. And an Eastern Conference general manager said this to Rick Bucher of Fox Sports: I heard that LeBron was trying to get Sam Presti into Los Angeles to replace Rob Pelinka. Now, I don't see that happening, but I could see him trying to get Pelinka out of there. And there's also this coming from Brian Windhorst. As the rumors continue to swirl, he spoke to many people across the NBA who were saying it's time this upcoming offseason to not only trade away Anthony Davis, but to also trade away LeBron James. That right there, folks, would be a full-on rebuild, and the Lakers would seriously have to tinker with that roster, trading away 2 of the top players in the NBA. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future for Los Angeles. You know what I do know? This upcoming offseason, it's going to be good for business here on the Lakers Report, and it's going to be fascinating to see what this organization does moving forward. Jeannie Buss, in the third quarter, looked up at the scoreboard last night. She left the arena. Crypto.com arena. She said, you know what? I'm out of here. So who do you blame the most for the Lakers' struggles this season? Give me a name, or if you want to give me names in the comment section, you can do that. But make sure you vent in the comment section and get that thing popping off. Let this be your therapy session and let your emotions ride. As far as Sam Presti goes, he's done a tremendous job with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's been able to attract star talent in a very small market, and he's basically doing now what Sam Hinkie got crucified for with the Philadelphia 76ers several years ago. He's openly tanked without openly tanking, but in doing so, he's been able to bring a lot of young studs to OKC. We'll continue to explore all of this, but first, I want to tell you about another great deal thanks to our friends at Fanatics. This Lakers pullover, available right now for 25% off, only if you use that link right down below, chatsports.com/Lakers sale. Even if you're living in Los Angeles, it can get a little bit chilly this time of year. I live in Dallas, and yeah, great weather almost all the time, but past couple of days, it's been in the 30s, 40s, little rain, some snow, the whole damn city shuts down, and when it does get cold, you need some nice warm gear like this Lakers pullover. Get it right now by going to chatsports.com/Lakers sale. I'll put that link in the comments section as well as the description of this video. Next up in the rumor mill for Los Angeles, how about an Anthony Davis for DeMar DeRozan trade this offseason? An anonymous NBA executive to Heavy.com saying this: Chicago is the one place I can see AD saying, okay, if you were going to trade me, send me home to Chicago. He has always wanted to play for the Chicago Bulls. That is not a big secret. He wants to do something for his city. If you were Chicago, I do not see how you don't make an offer, at least feel it out. But you would have to send DeMar DeRozan back for Anthony Davis to make the contracts work, by the way. Plus, I'd say either Pat Williams or Kobe White. And if it is White, then a draft pick too. I think that is something that would at least have a chance because the Lakers can say, well, he wanted to go home, then let his injuries be Chicago's problem. Now, to say that you need to add more in the deal with DeMar DeRozan for Anthony Davis outside of some of the financial obligations, if you're Chicago, I don't see why that's the case. DeMar DeRozan is having a career year this year, as evidenced by the numbers that we'll show you here coming up. You can make the argument he's a star right now, and you're trading him away, coming off the best year of his career, for a player who cannot consistently stay on the floor. But you're looking at a Lakers team right now that teed the ball up, and they have taken big swings, and they've missed. On Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan wanted to come to the Lakers this past offseason. Alex Caruso wanted to stay. But this Lakers organization hasn't been willing to go into the luxury tax, and they've missed out on a lot of players in addition to not trading for Kyle Lowry because they didn't want to trade away THT. They didn't bring in DeMar DeRozan because he was a little bit too expensive. That's why the Lakers are in this spot right now, and they traded for Russell Westbrook. Better fit with LBJ. Who do you think it is? Is it the big man in AD? As we've seen, him and LeBron already lifted Los Angeles to a title. Or is it DeMar DeRozan, who doesn't shoot the three, yet is still a walking bucket? And over his last few weeks, he's been going off for 30-plus points any given night. AD for Anthony Davis, DD for DeMar DeRozan. Who's the better fit with LeBron James? As far as DeMar DeRozan goes, he's a Compton native who might have taken a pay cut this past offseason to sign with the Lakers in NBA free agency. Now, when he signed that deal with the Bulls, I'm like, okay, he's in his early 30s, modern NBA player who doesn't shoot threes, but Chris Paul has brought the mid-range game back, so too has DeMar DeRozan. Now, this is interesting because DeRozan said this back in October. It was an option to go to Los Angeles. It was a realistic option. I wanted to go home. That was an opportunity for me to go back to Los Angeles. You don't get that opportunity often. I got it before, but I decided to stay in Toronto. It was an option, having an opportunity to play with one of the greatest players of all time. Why not? Now, this move for DeRozan has worked out and paid big dividends for him. He's lived up to the salary. He's lived up to the contract, and I don't think he's getting enough buzz as a legitimate MVP candidate this year. You take DeRozan away from the Chicago Bulls aren't the same team, even with Zach LaVine. MVP candidate who's really brought great energy to Chicago. He's hit multiple game winners, and he's played spectacular basketball this year. And you look back at the course of NBA history, a player this late in their career, they've never had a career season to the likes of DeMar DeRozan. 2018 to 2021 with San Antonio, 21.5 points per game, 5+ rebounds, around 6 dimes, shot around 50% from the floor, great, less than 23% from distance. This year, though, points per game on a better team, up to 28, rebounds about the same, assists about the same, shooting better at 51.5%, and the percentage points from beyond the arc up 14%. Now, he barely even lets it fly from deep, but the point here being DeMar And this career revival has been fantastic for Chicago and for him. And in the NBA MVP odds, he has now moved up the ladder and is now 9-1. He wasn't anywhere on the radar back a few weeks ago. Embiid, the Joker, leading the charge in those 1 and 2 spots. Giannis at 4-1 odds, even though Milwaukee's fallen off just a bit. DeMar DeRozan plus 900 and Ja Morant at 12-1 odds. So if you think DeMar is going to win NBA MVP, you put $1 down. If he wins, you get $9 back. That's pretty good value there. So I don't think DeRozan is going to get traded after this year to LA. Why would Chicago want Anthony Davis, even though he is a hometown dude? Unless DeMar was like, I want out of here. But why would he want out of a place where he's having his career year with Billy Donovan, who's put him in the right positions to succeed? Better than Greg Popovich. Hot seat? Maybe. No, just kidding. Rate DeMar as a player. Scale it for me from 1 to 100. 1 being, he kind of sucks. 100 being, he is elite. Put it on the NBA 2K scale. I know a lot of y'all like to hop on the stick, so be a gamer with this one. And make sure you subscribe to the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. 42,000 subs by the end of the week. Show me how much you love the Lakers by subscribing to the channel, because I know whether the Lakers are winning or losing, you eat up the latest news and rumors. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a great day. Thanks for rocking it with us here on the Lakers Report.